Before Federer, Nadal and Djokovic ruled tennis, there were other kings who built the throne. Björn Borg, the Iceman, who ruled tennis. Before Federer, before Nadal, before Djokovic, there was Björn Borg. Born in Sweden in 1956, Borg became one of tennis's first global superstars. But what made him different wasn't just his incredible game. It was his calm. On the court, Borg barely showed emotion. No shouting, no panic, just focus. And at Wimbledon, he became almost unstoppable. From 1976 to 1980, Borg won 5 consecutive Wimbledon titles. On clay, he was just as dominant, winning the French Open 6 times. By the age of just 26, Borg had already won 11 Grand Slam singles titles. Then, shockingly, he walked away from professional tennis at only 26 years old. His career was short, but his impact was enormous. Borg helped create the path for the champions who came after him. Before the modern kings of tennis, there was the Iceman, Björn Borg. John McEnroe, the rebel who ruled tennis. Before Federer, before Nadal, before Djokovic, there was John McEnroe. Born in 1959 in the United States, McEnroe became one of tennis's most exciting and controversial superstars. He had incredible touch, a brilliant serve, and a style of play that could make the impossible look easy. But McEnroe is also famous for something else: his temper. "You cannot be serious!" His arguments with umpires became legendary. But behind the outbursts was a champion. McEnroe won 7 Grand Slam singles titles, including 4 US Open titles and 3 Wimbledon titles. In 1981, 1983, and 1984, he conquered Wimbledon. And in 1984, he reached another level, finishing the season with an astonishing 82-3 record. McEnroe wasn't just a tennis player. He was an entertainer, a rebel, a genius with a racket. Before the modern kings took over, there was Super Brat, John McEnroe. Ivan Lendl, the machine who changed tennis. Before Federer, before Nadal, before Djokovic, there was Ivan Lendl. Born in Czechoslovakia in 1960, Lendl became one of the most dominant players of the 1980s. He wasn't known for flashy emotion. He was known for something else: discipline. Lendl transformed himself through relentless training and powerful ground strokes. He reached 19 Grand Slam finals and won 8 Grand Slam singles titles. And in 1985, he became the world's #1 player. He would spend 270 weeks at #1, one of the longest reigns in tennis history. But there was one title that kept escaping him: Wimbledon. Lendl reached the final twice and lost both times. Yet he never stops chasing it. He may not have won Wimbledon, but his influence on modern tennis was enormous. Power, fitness, discipline, preparation. The game was changing, and Ivan Lendl helped lead the way. Before the big 3, there was the machine: Ivan Lendl. Pete Sampras Pistol Pete. Before Federer, before Nadal, before Djokovic, there was Pete Sampras. Born in Washington, D.C. in 1971, Sampras became the dominant force of men's tennis during the 1990s. His weapon? The serve. Powerful, precise, almost impossible to read. But Sampras wasn't just a great server. He was a champion under pressure. He won 14 Grand Slam singles titles, including an incredible 7 Wimbledon titles. And from 1993 to 1998, he finished 6 consecutive years as world #1. For a time, Sampras looked almost unbeatable on the grass of Wimbledon. Then came the next generation. A young Swiss player named Roger Federer eventually defeated Sampras at Wimbledon in 2001. It was the end of an era, and perhaps the beginning of another. Sampras retired with 14 Grand Slam titles, a record that stood until Federer surpassed it. Before Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, there was Pistol Pete. Andre Agassi, the rebel who found his way. Before Federer, before Nadal, before Djokovic, there was Andre Agassi. Born in Las Vegas in 1970, Agassi became one of tennis' biggest stars, and one of its most complicated personalities. He was different. Long hair, bold clothes, a rebellious attitude. But behind the image was an incredible competitor. Agassi could attack from the baseline, return serves like few others, and turn defense into offense in an instant. He won 8 Grand Slam singles titles, and he achieved something only a few players have managed: the career Grand Slam. He won the Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and US Open. But Agassi's journey wasn't always easy. He fell down the rankings, struggled with motivation, and eventually rebuilt himself into a champion again. That comeback became part of his legacy. He wasn't simply a tennis star. He was a reminder that you can lose your way and still find your way back. Before the big three, there was Andre Agassi. Roger Federer, the king of elegance. Before Nadal, before Djokovic, there was Roger Federer. Born in Switzerland in 1981, Federer grew from a talented young player into one of the greatest tennis players the world had ever seen. His game looked effortless. A perfect serve, a beautiful one-handed backhand, lightning-fast footwork, and timing that made tennis look almost easy. But greatness didn't come overnight. Federer struggled with his emotions early in his career. Then, in 2003, everything changed. He won his first Grand Slam at Wimbledon, and the champion was born. Federer went on to win 20 Grand Slam singles titles, including a record 8 Wimbledon championships. For years, he stood at the top of tennis. Then came 2 players who would push him beyond his limits: Rafael Nadal, and later, Novak Djokovic. Together, they created one of the greatest rivalries and eras in sports history. But Federer wasn't remembered only for his trophies. He was remembered for the way he played: powerful, precise, and beautiful. Before the big three became 3, there was the maestro, Roger Federer. Rafael Nadal, the king of clay. Before Djokovic, there was Rafael Nadal. Born in Mallorca, Spain in 1986, Nadal grew up with a relentless passion for tennis. His game was different: heavy topspin, explosive movement, unbelievable defense, and above all, fighting spirit. In 2005, at just 19 years old, Nadal won his first Grand Slam at Roland Garros, and the clay court became his kingdom. He would go on to win the French Open 14 times, a record that may never be broken. But Nadal wasn't only a clay court champion. He won 22 Grand Slam singles titles, including Wimbledon, the US Open, and the Australian Open. He also completed the career Grand Slam. And then came his greatest rivalries. First, Roger Federer, then Novak Djokovic. Together, they pushed each other through one of the greatest eras tennis has ever seen. But Nadal's career wasn't just about trophies. It was about injuries, pain, setbacks, and somehow coming back. He fought until the final point, until there was nothing left. Before Djokovic became the final king of the big three, there was the king of clay, Rafael Nadal. The Joker? Novak Djokovic, the last king. Before Djokovic, there was Federer, there was Nadal, but then came a player who refused to let either man rule forever: Novak Djokovic. Born in Serbia in 1987, Djokovic grew up dreaming of becoming a tennis champion. But his journey wasn't easy. He battled injuries, doubts, and 2 giants who had already conquered the sport. Then Djokovic found another level. His return became one of the greatest weapons in tennis. His flexibility seemed impossible, and his mentality unbreakable. In 2008, Djokovic won his first Grand Slam at the Australian Open. But that was only the beginning. He would go on to win 24 Grand Slam singles titles, the most in men's tennis history. He won 10 Australian Open titles, 7 Wimbledon titles, 4 US Open titles, and 3 French Open titles. He completed the career Grand Slam, and eventually, he surpassed both Federer and Nadal in the record books. But Djokovic's greatest achievement wasn't simply winning. It was surviving an era that already belonged to 2 legends. And becoming a legend himself, Federer had elegance, Nadal had fighting spirit. Djokovic had something else: the will to keep winning. The final king of the big three, Novak Djokovic. The kings of men's tennis: Björn Borg, the Iceman, the calm champion who dominated Wimbledon and Roland Garros; John McEnroe, the rebel, A genius with incredible touch, serve and volley skills, and an unforgettable personality. Ivan Lendl, the machine. Relentless fitness, discipline, and powerful baseline tennis. Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi. The rival kings. Sampras dominated with his serve and Wimbledon success, while Agassi became the charismatic counterpuncher who completed the career Grand Slam. Roger Federer, the maestro. Elegance, precision, and one of the most beautiful games ever played. Rafael Nadal, the king of clay. Relentless intensity and an extraordinary 14 French Open titles. Novak Djokovic, the last king. The ultimate record breaker who eventually surpassed both Federer and Nadal in Grand Slam titles. The evolution. Borg, McEnroe, Lendl, Sampras, Agassi, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. The kings of tennis. From Borg to Djokovic. The story isn't simply about who won the most. It's about how each generation changed men's tennis, and how the next generation eventually came to challenge the king. If you enjoyed this journey through the kings of tennis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more stories about the legends who changed the game. From Borg to McEnroe, Lendl, Sampras, Agassi, Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. Who do you think is the greatest king of them all? Let me know in the comments.